Alrighty guys, so now we're hopping into the next video, which is finding your niche in which you want to target client, or finding the best niches to have as Facebook ads clients. Now I'm going to go over three different foundations that you should take into account, and I'm going to give you experience from what I've done over the last almost a year now that I've been running my agency, and what I think are the best clients, who to avoid, and that kind of thing here. So let's go ahead and we're gonna hop into the best niches to have as clients. So there's three things you should consider when you're trying to get a client, because obviously there's so many different niches that are out there. I chose to master one to two niches. That doesn't mean you can go, that means you can go out there and you can try different niches that I personally haven't done yet. But these are like three foundations that you should know, that when you do start to go experiment, that you should stick to these tracks right here. First one being is easy to deliver results for. So when you're finding a client, um, it's important that there's clients out there that have a lot of money, but it might be kind of difficult to go ahead and get them results. So that's a question that you might want to ask yourself when you're building your agency. And these are like questions that you should really consider. Actually, almost all the stuff that I say here, you should take into account and see and think about, okay, what kind of agency do I want to run here? So think about it. There's clients that will pay you $3,000 to $5,000 a month, but it might be a lot of work for you to try to get them results, because it might be very targeted or very difficult to try to get them customers. Like, I don't know, let's just say like a construction company, right? And they're trying to target executives of companies. Like, they might pay you more money, but it might be a little bit more difficult to target them than if, say, you're running a yoga pass for anybody. Like, everybody tries to do, or a lot of females try to do yoga. So you want to find a customers where it's easy to deliver results, because you want to know, like, how much time are you willing to invest into each client. Do you want to have a more automated business where you can run 2 to 3 hours a week for that client, or do you want to spend more time with that client and get paid more money? So that's something that you want to consider. But personally, the way I run my agency and how I'm going to teach you guys is an easy way. As in, you get them good results, you don't spend that much money, they pay you good amount, and it's right in the middle. So you want to have clients that are easy to deliver results for. Results being leads. Second is, you want to find a niche that you either, one, understand, or two, you begin to master. So I worked in the area of financial services before I started my ads agency, and I personally decided that I did not want to run lead generation for the financial service industry, just because even though I left my last company, I'm still very loyal to that system, and their concepts, their philosophies, and I would not want to do lead generation providing, leads to, say, a competitor of who I used to be. So I couldn't use the niche that I come from. So you might be in the car industry, you might be in the retail industry. Who knows what your industry is? So when you're starting with a client, it's best to either start with somebody, a niche where you either, one, understand, or two, if you're starting from scratch, is master one. Like, for me, I began to master the gym niche. And when it comes to gym, yoga, boxing, fitness, kung fu, like anything to do with all that kind of stuff, is I mastered this one client. And the reason I mastered it and fell into this niche is because that was my first client. The first client I got was a personal trainer, and then the next one was the yoga, and it just happened to be like gym after gym after gym after gym, and fitness after fitness, to the point where almost all like 90% of my clients were fitness, and I wasn't even intentionally trying to do that. It just happened that way, and I began to master and see what really worked here in my area when it came to my niche. So when you're finding a niche, is either start in a niche that you already understand, or if you don't want to work in that niche and it doesn't work with this one here, which is easy to deliver results, is master one niche. And a niche is a specific industry. Sorry if you don't know what a niche is. A specific industry. So master one specific industry, whether it's the fitness, whether it's dental, whether it's chiropractic, whether it's whatever it is master that one. Third one now is, when you find the best clients, is the customers. There's a high customer ROI, which means return on investment. It's either a high customer ROI or a retainer for the client. So you want to work with niches that, one, they get a lot of money per customer, or the person is on a monthly recycle retainer that they keep paying every single month. So now the value of the customer is worth much more than just a one-time visit. And so I'm going to give you examples of that right now when I go over this list. So the side on the left here, all the different clients that I've personally worked with. The ones on the right are also additional good customers to work with. I just personally haven't worked with them yet. I mean, like I said, I mastered one industry. And then I also have some different niches to avoid. So, like for example, when it comes to the best customers to work with, this is the best one. This is the ones that I'm going to personally recommend for you guys to get started with, over because of some specific reasons. For example, gyms. The owner of the gym is typically always there. Um, there's a monthly retainer. They typically have a good enough ad budget. It's easy to get results for get you know 3-day passes, 4-day pass is something that's typically run. So it's easy to get the gym results. So the gyms can be anything that in any kind of typical gym, a yoga studio, um, boxing, kickboxing, hit classes, which is like group gym classes, dentists, salons, and spas. These are all niches right here where either one has a high customer ROI. For example, dental client on average is worth over $15,000 on the average dental client. Because over the 6 months checkups, referrals. They stay with them for years on years. Their kids start coming there. Maybe they need a root canal, whatever it is. So the average dental customer is worth thousands and thousands of dollars. Or say a gym where that customer is not worth maybe thousands of dollars, but they're on a retainer where that person's paying $100 a month, $150 a month, $80 a month, whatever it is. So now that person continues to get that client. Our clients continue to keep getting paid. So here are other good high value customers, which is chiropractors, attorneys, real estate, surgeons. I didn't enter that in there, but surgeons. These are other good niches that you could potentially get into that you can run Facebook ad lead gens for. I personally have not run ads for these, so I'm not going to show examples of these. But I have friends that are in these niches that are delivering results. Now, I do want to have a note that you do want to avoid a certain industry. For example, and here's an example, and it could be multiple different industries, but this one here, I would personally avoid restaurants and cafes. Now, the reason being is, remember, we're not doing social media marketing. I mean, social media marketing is such a broad topic, but what we're doing specifically is Facebook lead generation. Now, think about it. Does a restaurant need leads? No, they don't really need leads, right? They don't need to have a spreadsheet full of people to follow up with, to come into their restaurant. Or a cafe doesn't need, you know, that kind of stuff. And then also it also violates our number three, which is high ROI. When we're doing our customer lifetime value on a restaurant and cafe is much smaller than say a yoga studio where the person pays every month. So if we get somebody to come into that restaurant, there's not really guarantee that person will come back. Or same thing with the cafe. So we potentially can't charge as much just specifically for Facebook ad. That doesn't mean you can do other stuff like photography, and a lot of more stuff. But remember, I'm teaching lead generation here, not the broad topic of social media marketing. So when it comes to restaurants, there's no retainer. The ROI per customer is very low, and the customers and these niches like restaurants and cafes don't need leads. They're not going to be calling the leads to follow up. Hey, come to my restaurant. Or say a gym. Hey, when's the best time? Which class would you like to take? 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock? It's a lot different than say a restaurant. So that's and that's just an example. You can apply it to the niche you're thinking about getting into. We're going to start with gyms, yoga studio, these kind of niches at first, and I'm going to show you an example of these ones here. But that's just a good basis. So if you don't know where to get started, this is the best niches to get started with in these three concepts here. So guys, thank you for this video. Let's hop into the next one.